Are you in the market for a new electric vehicle and considering a Tesla? Well, I just totaled mine, so I'm in your same shoes. Here's my honest review after 3 years of ownership with the Tesla Model 3 Stealth Performance. So this past weekend was my birthday, and what better way is there to celebrate your birthday other than totaling your car? I think pretty much every other way is better. I'll start the video by saying that I'm actually kind of a car guy. I like cars ever since I was little. I always had an attraction towards cars. I went to all of these car shows and I always enjoy vehicles. I took a test drive on the Tesla and I absolutely fell in love with it. I ordered the standard range. It's like the cheapest Tesla. You have a standard, long range and performance. And then I learned in Reddit that there is a special edition for this car. There wasn't really an model name for it, so they called it Stealth in the internet, and it was a long-range car with the performance engines, and it only cost like $2,000 more than the long range. My mind was blown. I canceled the standard range. I tracked the car in Cincinnati, Ohio. I drove the car all the way back from Ohio to Texas, and one of the first things you've noticed when you do that is that the car is absolutely superior to anything I've seen before with regards to a long drive. And that is because of the autopilot feature, and I'll get to that in a moment. Anyway, I owned the car for 3.5 years and I absolutely adored it. And then, unfortunately, last week, it got totaled. I wasn't there, my wife was. Fortunately for everybody are safe, nobody got hurt. The Tesla is extremely safe, so that's great. But it sucked. It really sucked. I was absolutely devastated. It is what it is. So, starting with the cons, and I really try to get all the list that I have about the things I don't like about a car. So the first thing I don't really appreciate about it is the quality of the assembly. Tesla is competing with like BMW and Benz. Very different cars, but in the price point, this is what it competes with. But the quality of the Tesla is just lacking. There are a lot of panel gaps, and the materials that they're using inside the car is just not the best. And for its price point, it's not as well assembled when you compare it to other vehicles of its type. The second thing I didn't really like about it is the quality of the paint. So the paint chips really easily. If you get like stones or anything like that hitting the car, if you have like a door that opens on you or you open the door on something else, it can chip really easily, and that is unfortunate. The third thing I didn't like about the car is the engagement. And when I say engagement, I mean like driver's engagement. So the car accelerates extremely fast, but if you're trying to take it to like a spinny road or something, it's not as fun. I drove the Miata before, it's not even remotely comparable to the Miata, and it's not comparable to other driver's cars. For me, I don't really think that a Tesla makes sense to buy as a driver's car. It's an electric car, but I should mention it all the same. Another thing I didn't particularly care for is the looks. I didn't find it pretty. Like the Tesla is kind of mundane. I did some upgrades to it that made it look a bit nicer in my personal opinion. A lot of people that saw the car was like, I like it, but I don't really know why. I did turn my head to look at it when I parked it, which is the right test to make sure that you like the car. The last thing I didn't like about it is a bunch of small things. So it had some chrome trims and piano black trims, and it didn't have a power lift gate. And the interesting thing about it is that Tesla upgraded all of these little things. Now they have heated steering wheel, it had power liftgate. I like the fact that Tesla are hearing the feedback and applying it to the car. So this is a good thing for now. I'm really trying here. I'm not like a Tesla fanboy, but I like mostly everything about the car, so let's go to the pros. The first thing I like about the car is the safety. It is extremely safe. Actually, one of the safest cars that you can get today. The car is passively safe because of the low center of gravity, and actively safe because of all of the technology that it has with it. The image processing, the active safety alerts, the active braking, and everything of that nature. The fact you got out of the car accident unharmed was an excellent proof of capability. The second thing I absolutely love about the car, basically a game changer, is the autopilot feature. And I know that some people say that it resembles basically a lane keep assist with dynamic cruise control, but it's not. I have other cars, I've driven other cars, and I've never seen any system implemented like the Tesla system that makes it so autonomous in nature, just so easy to use. It is extremely easy to use and it feels very safe, so I love this feature. Another thing I appreciate about the car is the fact you have no more gas stations. So I don't need to waste my time driving to a gas station, and of course I don't need to waste my money filling the tank up. And I know some people will say, well, but you can't drive it everywhere. You can. Supercharger works really well. In my day-to-day driving, I don't drive 250 miles, so I can drive around, come back to my garage, overnight it will be charged, no issues whatsoever. The fourth thing I like about it is the minimalistic design. In my opinion, after driving a Tesla for a couple of years, now when I go into luxury cars and they have all the buttons and screens and everything, to me, it doesn't feel well. I think that the minimalistic approach is way better. You can control everything with your voice, and whatever you can control with your voice, you can control with your excellent user experience that was developed by engineers, and it's just so easy to use. The fifth thing I absolutely loved about the car is that it's constantly evolving. I got software updates every couple of weeks, and the car was evolving, and ideas that I had in my brain were actually implemented, because I'm not a genius. If I'm thinking about it, other people think about it too. So for example, when I got the car, I had a glove box compartment and I wished it was locked. Lo and behold, one day I get into the car and now I have a PIN code to open the glove box. Even though the car is 3 years old, I had features just from the past couple of months. That's amazing. The overtaking capability of the car is excellent because of the torque. It is so strong because you get maximum torque from 0 RPM, which means when you press the pedal, it moves fast. So for overtaking or for getting into the interstate or just getting out of getting into the lane, it is extremely comfortable and it feels very safe because you're not afraid that somebody will come and swoop you. The ride comfort was excellent, but I don't think I'm the guy to ask about ride comfort given that I've driven a Miata before, so I don't know. The user experience of the car is absolutely amazing. And by user experience, I mean the fact that I don't need to carry a physical key with me, just the phone. The fact I sit in the car, it knows it's me, and all the mirrors and the wheel and even the vents of the AC are being configured per my own preferences. Whenever I drove some other cars, I kind of miss the Tesla. And even now, when I don't have the Tesla, I kind of miss the Tesla. The storage in the car was surprisingly well, even though it's a sedan, having storage underneath the trunk, having storage in the front was just way more than what I'm used to with other sedans. So the amount of space you have because you remove all of the electronics is excellent. Servicing the car was basically non-existent. I had the car for 3 years. Tesla came a couple of times. I didn't need to do anything. I don't need to change the oil. I don't need to check the engine. There's nothing. It's so simple. Everything is so simplistic with this car. So that was another key benefit of having it. Basically just rotate the tires and change them and change the brakes here and there. I didn't even get to that point. Last but certainly not least is the value for money. I know the Teslas are considered to be like a luxury car by some people, or maybe by the market, but I didn't really feel like it's a luxury car when I compare the price of the product to its actual depreciation and the amount of money it cost me to service the car and the amount of money it cost me to operate the car. I think the value proposition is just really good. I bought my car for slightly over 50 grand, and for this price I feel like the value is just really off the charts. And now it sucks. Now I need to replace it. Let me know in the comment what are the downsides of the Tesla that I missed, what is the next car that I should get, and maybe I'll change my mind. Yes? No? Let me just talk about this thing, right? So